Welcome to another episode of Uncovering the Gems. My name is Marcy Graham. I am the Marketing Manager and Public Information Officer for the City of La Quinta. Today we have Councilmember Kathleen Fitzpatrick. Kathleen, thank you so much for being here. We are excited. We are gearing up for State of the City, which is always a great event for us. It's an opportunity for us to inform and educate our residents. But I want to start kind of focusing on why our council loves La Quinta, which is the easiest questions we could ever ask. But talk to me a little bit, Kathleen, about what drew you to La Quinta, because I know you are not originally from here.
Right.
But what drew you to La Quinta and what made you stay?
You know, I retired in 2005, and we were really looking for a second home when I retired, because Ron was already retired. And we were looking for a place that was pretty active and was beautiful and relatively close to both of our kids. Were still in Los Angeles at the time, relatively close to where we were all centered.
Yeah.
And came out here and we had been looking for a while and came out here to look at one place and ended up actually buying in another place. And a few months later, we're just so impressed with all of the time we'd spent here, and we'd done quite a bit of research on La Quinta, spent a lot of time in the wellness center.
Oh, yeah.
When it was still the Senior Citizen Center, kind of getting a feel for what the vibe was in La Quinta, and because that was really important to us.
For sure.
So ended up driving home to Pasadena one night saying, why do we need two houses? We don't need two houses. So we ended up living here in 2006. We moved here full time.
Wow.
And we've been here ever since. We love obviously the scenery, the vistas are incredible.
Yeah.
The energy in this town is really, really nice.
Yeah. So, you mentioned you retired. So what made you want to get into local city government?
I was very fortunate. I retired young. So after a couple of years of retirement and getting this house in order and getting the landscape done, and Ron had already started looking around for volunteer activities and ended up on what used to be our architectural committee, and said, you should get involved too. So I came down and I ultimately got on the Community Services Commission at the time.
Yeah.
And then, one thing leads to another, and you end up doing more volunteer work, and you end up being almost as busy as you were when you were working.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's what led me to the city council, and
so it's Ron that we are.
It's Ron that started it. Now, if you want to ask how I got on the city council, then it's all about Linda and Robert Ratty. So that's a whole other story.
I love that.
But no, you just my whole career was in the public sector. I built parks for a living.
Right.
I ran a capital improvement program for the city of La Quinta, city of Los Angeles for quite a long time, and the public service is kind of ingrained, and just kind of one thing led to another, and I'm here, and I love it. I love this city.
Yeah.
I love what we do. I love how we do it.
Yeah. No. So, beyond your official duties as a council member, what are some of your personal hidden gems in La Quinta that you either recommend to visitors or even new residents?
Okay, so I guess just starting off the top of my head, one of the things that got me really interested in La Quinta was the museum.
Oh, yeah.
And I got very active and involved with the Historical Society. So I always recommend people go to the museum, learn a little bit about our history and get excited about it.
It's a mighty museum. For being a little museum, it's a mighty museum.
And it's grown quite a bit in the last 20 years, and I'm looking forward to the cultural campus, expanding the museum and all of the things that we offer in La Quinta to our residents and to visitors.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I recommend is just what Ron and I did. Now it's the Wellness Center. It used to be the Senior Center. But spend some time there.
Yeah.
It really gives you an insight into our community. The classes, you meet interesting people. You learn just how really wonderful our residents are, how wonderful our community spirit is. It's one of the driving forces, I think, behind what keeps people active in La Quinta as well.
So, from your perspective, what are, let's say, the top 3 qualities or characteristics that you feel make La Quinta a truly special place to live and visit?
Well, obviously, it's the mountains and the sun and the light. And it's you know.
So hard to pick.
It is. Well, no, it's kind of a hard thing to put into words, I think. We like to be active, and what better place to be active in a place where the scenery is incredible.
Yeah.
You go up into the cove on the hiking trails, something as simple as that. Or when I go for a run in the morning on the multi-purpose trails out where I live in the eastern end of town, almost every development has a multi-purpose trail around it.
Yeah.
I run into people on horses. Well, I don't run into them, but I see people on horses. I see people on bikes. I see people who are running. I see people who are walking. And they're doing it in a vista that is incredible. So it's mind-boggling, actually.
It's hard to put into words, like you said.
It's very hard to put into words what that means when you're doing it. And that exposure to that kind of peace and calm is, I think, something that we're all looking for.
Yeah, no, for sure. What aspects of the city's environment, maybe it's beyond the Santa Rosas or whatnot, do you find most appealing? And I'm interested in your answer because, you are such an expert in, the beautiful landscape and things like that based on your previous work history. So it is interesting to kind of hear it from an expert's point of view.
As I said, I think it all revolves around how a person responds to it. And it's something that is, and we keep saying this, and I hate to use the term over and over again, it's really difficult to put into words how this space creates a feeling. You're surrounded by these beautiful mountains.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by the blue sky. You're surrounded by the beautiful different shades of greens and grays in our landscape that give such depth to every vista around us. No matter, I don't care whether you live on a piece of property that has other houses around it, or if you live on a piece of property where you can actually see the Santa Rosas every day. The light and the way it impacts your own personal environment is so incredible that it just is very peaceful, and it creates a sense of place that no other place has.
I agree. I think all of us, city staff, city council, we appreciate our community so much and the passion that they have. How do you see La Quinta's community spirit, and are there any examples that come to mind that highlight the sense of our community?
Okay, I think the easiest example is every June we interview people to sit on our commissions. The wealth of talent and energy that the people who come in, who want to volunteer, bring to this community is amazing.
Yeah.
It's often difficult to pick one or two people out of the large group of people who want to come in and interview to serve on our commissions. It constantly amazes me.
Yeah, because it's hard work.
It's hard work, and but it's also, like I said, there's such a depth of expertise that lives here, and that when you see that, you're amazed, and you're happy to be here because you know that we're actually getting really some very serious quality
Yeah.
and the people that help all of us, the city council, serve this community.
Yeah.
That's one example. The other example is our yearly workshop in January, where we kind of start to set up the year, both for budget and for just a wish list.
Yeah.
We get a diverse community that comes in and sits and discusses what's happened in the last year, discusses our upcoming budget, discusses their priorities for what they see that needs to be done in La Quinta. I don't know how much better you can get at governing than having your residents sit there with you
for sure
at a table and talk to you one-on-one.
No, I love that event. I think our community workshop, we have really seen an increase in attendance over the years.
Yes.
And I think it's because people are starting to recognize that this is an opportunity for them to meet with mayor, council, with city manager, police, fire, city staff.
Yep.
It's an opportunity to not only hear what we are doing, but this is really an opportunity for us as a city organization to go to our residents and say, what do you want to see?
Yes.
And I've mentioned this before. Some of the projects proposed are not easily done with the snap of the fingers because there's a whole lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
But when we do have something that comes up like that, it's an opportunity where we explain, okay, this is a great idea, but this is what goes into it. This is what it's going to entail.
This is frequently what the price tag is to do that. Because, I mean, I think the perfect example, of course, is undergrounding all of the electric poles in the cove.
For sure.
Everybody wants to do it.
Yep.
Nobody realized that the cost is in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
So not only do you get to propose projects, you get to then next January hear what can be done to get it done, and how big that rock is to move up the hill.
Yep.
And so it's learning the process, learning the results, and then learning how to put it together on a street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood basis to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
And then relying on the residents to energize that process.
Yeah. A lot of the projects that we all talk about that are proposed, we say these are 10, 15, 30-year projects. And that's not because the city is slow or the partners are slow. It's because it is a massive undertaking. Right. And the elves don't necessarily work magically overnight. Right. And so we're always thinking ahead.
Yes.
For the next generation of leaders, the next generation of residents. So I love that. I love that community workshop event because it is an opportunity to really go, what do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
And how can we make it happen? But also, here's what it's going to take to make it happen.
Or just the simple act of let us go and find out more and come back to you next year with what we have discovered.
Yeah.
And then let's continue that conversation.
Yeah. No. We talked about community workshop and how we do that every year. But are there any other specific? We have a lot of events in the city, which are wonderful. Are there any specific events or even just local traditions that you particularly look forward to every year?
Okay, my two most favorite are the birthday party and the tree lighting.
Oh, yeah.
At Christmas. Those are my personal favorites. I love it because they're both community oriented. It's so much fun to be out there amongst the families, just enjoying the kids, all of the things that the kids like to do at both of those events. It's that spirit of,
sense of
community / recreation / in a beautiful place, because we're in the Civic Center Park and it's just a gorgeous place to be. Yeah. So to me is like the perfect combination of everything. And the other events are wonderful too. My other favorites are one that's not even in La Quinta when we go over and do the Memorial Day event at the cemetery in Coachella. That's a nice event.
Yeah.
Veterans Day is always inspiring.
Absolutely.
And 9/11 Memorial is always inspiring.
Yeah.
We have a lot of really good events, but my two favorites are the birthday party and Christmas.
Yeah, for sure. I think, one of the things for feedback that I hear is, oh, wow, council's at the events. Council's there, like, for most of the event or the whole entire event. We can walk up to them. We can talk to them. And it's like, yeah, this is how La Quinta rolls, if you will.
Yeah.
We show up in great force. We show up when it's important. But having that sense of community, showing that our council, our staff is embedded in the community, whether you live here, you work here, you're playing here, whatever it is. So it's a great opportunity because I know mayor and council members do get approached at our various events and let's talk. Let's chew the fat. I like that, right? Yeah. But it's always a great time to be able to interface with our community members. What is a perfect day in La Quinta to you?
You mean if I don't have a meeting to go to?
Yep, whatever is perfect to you. Whatever is perfect to you. Whether it's a work day, it's a non-work day.
Well, I actually enjoy. We all have the privilege of sitting on several committees beside being your elected representative on council. So, there are some of these committees that I really enjoy. So I would say probably a perfect day would be getting up, having a nice run on one of the trails out by where I live, going to a committee meeting like Riverside County Transportation Commission, which is not just a job.
Right.
It's impactful to how we live now and, as we were speaking about earlier, the future of Coachella Valley and La Quinta. I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to learn something. Come home, eat a little lunch, read a book, and then go to another meeting probably.
Always busy.
Yeah, and I think that I know for young people it's probably hard to figure this out, but as you retire and enter a different side of your life, you find that being active is important too.
Yeah.
And it keeps you young and in your thinking at least. And it's important. And so, those are good days for me too.
That's
and
awesome.
Maybe I'll meet somebody for lunch and then, as I said, go home, read a book, spend some time with my husband in the backyard. And
looking at those beautiful views.
Yeah. We are fortunate.
Yeah.
We do. We have views of the mountains pretty much almost 360
kind of closing it out, how do you feel your personal experiences and your love, your passion for La Quinta influence your decisions and priorities as a city leader?
I spent my entire career as a public servant. So I think what's really important to me is that community connection. To be able to, and it's one of the things that is nice about serving in a local government that is really kind of small, that you can have that access to your residents. I think it's very important to me to represent people based on what I see as their priorities because I've been listening.
Yep.
There's that. Then I think it's also important to try and always look towards the future.
Yeah.
it's not good to just solve for next year, next fiscal
Right.
year.
Right.
We have to be pretty cognizant of leaving the city in a better place.
Yeah.
And
What is it? Leave it better than you found it.
yeah, leave it better than you found it. And I think, you know, I'm really proud of some of the commission work that's led to some good city council work in making sure that we have a really fiscally responsible city.
Right.
So I feel good about where we are going forward for leaving that behind.
Yeah.
That's an excellent framework. Yeah, we've got some work to do on open space and parks and integrating that part of our community with the education piece.
Yeah.
You know, our school system is not anything that we have any control over.
Right.
But I think it's important still to listen to
Right.
what the community is saying about that.
Yeah.
So I think community connection, spending time, actually, you know, really trying to listen and translate what the needs are today into what the future is going to be for La Quinta.
I love that. Thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with us about all the things you love about La Quinta. We appreciate it.
Thanks. This is fun. This is my first podcast too. So I know Linda said it was her first podcast. So yeah, this is an exciting way to also communicate with our residents, and I appreciate you taking the time to do it.
Thanks.